guys, don't hope you don't have an awesome day today. Oversee if you ever DQ, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. While you at it, go ahead, push that bell for notifications up so you can get the scoop of my news, upcoming videos. Okay, everybody, so this is gonna be TV series review of Wednesday. So apologies, season 1. Now they're going to make a season 2 of Wednesday. It's still in the works right now. I'm not entirely sure when it's coming out, but okay, let's just say Jenna Ortega and Tim Burton, they both, well, played this role as spin-off of the Addams Family. Magnificently beautiful and how orchestrated it was compared to the old, I guess you could say, the old school Addams Family. This was actually super entertaining and engaging for a lot of people. Okay, so let's dive right into the situation a little bit more. So, what happens with Wednesday? Wednesday, well, let's just say that she's been expelled from 8 different schools, but she's a straight A student, I can tell you that. She has a brother named Pugsley, and Pugsley, well, she always has to look after her little brother because her little brother gets picked on by bullies. And so, as she's walking down the hallway in school, she noticed that her brother has been locked up inside his own locker, tied up with the apple inside his mouth, and she said she wants names, and he says, I don't know who they are, they just came up from behind me. And then when she finally touched him, she said, Pugsley, weakness. Pugsley looking weak is basically a weakness, and people exploit that. Then when she touched him, she figured out who it was. She was plagued with visions, basically. I'll get into her visions in a moment's notice. And so how she got expelled was, well, basically, she had some piranhas, and it was a water polo team that assaulted her brother, and she had 2 bags of piranhas, and they said, hey, it's Pugsley's sister. And she said, the only person who gets to torture my brother is me. And she dropped piranhas right inside the swimming pool. I was like, damn, she's like a mastermind of being devious and stuff. And so they did mention that it was almost attempted murder, basically, with 2 students. One of them lost a testicle. Yes, literally, they said that inside the TV show. It was the first episode and stuff. She didn't regret it. She said that she'll actually do it again. That's how much she cares about her brother, but she still does torture her brother every now and then, I suppose, so you could say that. Now, what's going on is that basically they're going to press charges, but instead of pressing charges, her parents were going to send their daughter Wednesday to Nevermore Academy, where their parents actually went to Nevermore Academy. Nevermore Academy is where basically it's supernatural students that could actually express themselves with I guess you could say Wednesday, Addams Family. They have a strong reputation there. They're part of this Dark Sand Society Club, and it's a lot of history within inside their family that goes on throughout this whole, I guess you could say, well, this new school, this penitentiary, she calls it, and she wants to try to escape from it. But her plans don't involve escaping at the moment because she has to play detective. To give you this clarification, what happens is that she gets to scoop the tour with a girl named Enid. Enid is actually part of a werewolf pack, but she hasn't really actually fulfilled her werewolf side because she hasn't wolfed out, that's what they call it, like turned into a werewolf yet. She's a late bloomer. So she has to share a room with Enid. Enid is basically super girly girl, and of course Wednesday is she's real gothic, I guess you could say, and negative, and she basically has a mindset of good writer and serial killer and sociopathic mind, basically, but she's full of jolly beans, I can say that. She's a peach, but anyways, other than that, she doesn't, she had a choice. She could have left, but she didn't leave because she had a vision about a boy named Rowan, and this boy named Rowan, she thought he was in danger. She saw him run into the woods because there's a, I guess you could say it was like a carnival that was actually going on. This is a town in Jericho. Jericho is a town where there's a founding Father Member, Craxton. I'll get into Craxton in a moment's notice and why he's psychopathic maniac that was back in Pilgrim times, and he was part of the Holocaust where he killed a lot of innocent women and children who were portrayed. Well, everyone thought that they were like witches. He was part of the witch trial. I guess you could say it was similar, kind of like to Vampire Diaries, like that same scenario, because like I guess it went on inside the 1800s. Her family lineage goes on into the 1800s. She didn't even know that the Allen's families, like the bloodline trait, goes all the way back into the 1800s in Jericho town. Jericho town. So she finds Roland in the woods. It's at night, and when she finds Roland in the woods, she says, "Roland, you're in danger. I want to see if I can help you," but no. He tries to kill Wednesday. He uses his telekinetic abilities where okay, basically he force chokes her on a tree. He's choking her on a tree. He's about to kill her and says that this is my legacy. My mother said that you will come to this school one day and you will destroy this school, and it is my job to stop you at any cost necessary. As he was choking Wednesday, using his force bars, his telekinetics, basically this huge monster came out of the woods out of nowhere, not only just to save her, but basically the ugly looking monster, he was murdering people in the town Jericho, and it's called the Hide. Now the Hide, it was introduced in the first episode, and it was almost killed by Wednesday, but technically it killed Rowan. It saved Wednesday's life at first. A Hide is, I guess you could say, it's Sasquatch. Sasquatch on steroids. That's what I can say what a Hide is. But a Hide does have a master, meaning a master that controls a Hide. But a Hide is also a person. Basically, a person turns into a Hide. It's kind of like a werewolf, but he actually turns into a monster and literally disembowels people, like cuts off limbs, their head, torsos, and stuff. Now the sheriff, he thinks that there's fishy stuff going on in Nevermore Academy. He thinks that the monster is tied up with Nevermore Academy, but little does he know that it's actually his son. Yeah. The thing is that the sheriff, I guess you could say, the boy Wednesday, kind of, I guess you could say, was friends with, then got a little bit more friends with. His name was actually Tyler. Now Tyler worked at a barista coffee, and that's where they actually met Tyler Gaplin, and he was the son of the sheriff. Now the sheriff was intimate with one of the Nevermore, I guess you could say, girls at the academy when he was at a younger age, basically, and he married her. So she was a supernatural creature. She was basically, I guess you could say, a Hide. Okay, so he turns into this supernatural monster creature that kills a lot of people. Why does he kill a lot of people? Well, it's because there's an insider. Now, this insider infiltrated Nevermore Academy. This insider is actually Miss Thornhill. Miss Thornhill, who is portrayed by Christina Ricci. She is the original Wednesday in the old series of Addams Family. Jenna Ortega and Christina never really talked about it. It's like the old Wednesday back in the day and stuff. They didn't really discuss any information about it because it will be a little awkward. She did actually say that on the Jimmy Kimmel talk show. She mentioned that too as well. So there's been a love romance in it. So there's sirens in there. One siren was named Bianca. Bianca was like the popular girl, and the second one was Xavier. Xavier was a torture artist. When you mean torture artist, everything he would actually draw, they would come to life, and he became the main suspect inside who really is the Hide. And she believes that he was the Hide because he kept on drawing all these drawings of the Hyde, and she witnessed it with her own eyes who the Hyde really is. Well, technically not the true identity just yet. She kept on seeing some scratches all over his neck. She knew the paintings were coming alive and stuff, and the evidence all gathered to the conclusion of Xavier was the main prime suspect, the murderer and the monster. So she had her eyes set on him, but meanwhile she has her own problems to deal with inside her family when her family actually visited her. Her father was actually wanted out and arrested for murder back in the day when he was attending Nevermore Academy, but then they cleared his name because he didn't kill this other innocent person. I wouldn't say this innocent person because this other guy, he tried to kill Nevermore Academy students, all of them, because his father really did hate Nevermore Academy because he thought that they stole his land when they built Nevermore Academy on top of his land. So that was a whole other deal. That was a small portion part of the story of the Allen's family's history. So basically, she tells her mother that she has some visions. Her visions are, I guess she said, what are my visions? My visions are for someone who sees life through a darker lens, which is, she's a raven. Raven is, she sees past, present, and future visions, but they're all too blunt and really, I guess you could say, I wouldn't say dark, but it's like real eerie and serious. She saw her ancestor Goody that was inside the witch trial, and her mother is actually a dove. Dove means they have good visions, and her mother said that we're not taught by the living. She wished she could teach Wednesday how to control her powers, but she can't. They're only taught by their ancestors, basically. And she says Goody has reached to me. Goody died. She was Wednesday's age, and Jericho, well, let's just say that he is the one who was involved in the mass destruction of that time, and he was resurrected. In order to resurrect him, Wednesday needed to die. In order for Wednesday to die, he stabbed Wednesday, but then they all found out who the insider was. It was Miss Thornhill. Miss Thornhill was the enemy of throughout the whole series. She was behind the Hyde. She was the Hyde's master. She knew it was Tyler Gaplin all along, and Tyler didn't even know it at that time. So the thing is, what else happened is that when Wednesday got stabbed in the chest by Joseph Craxton, I guess you could say she was about to die. Yeah, and when she was about to die, Goody actually came to her. She said that, are you here to take me now that I'm dying? She says, no. Wednesday, the school needs you. We need you. What I could do for you is I can help you out. And she says, if you're not aware, if you can't see, I'm dying already. She says, I can help you with that. I can help you go inside your body, transport my, I guess, her embodiment inside Wednesday's so that she could heal Wednesday, so that Wednesday will not bleed out and die or anything like that. So she was able to heal Wednesday. And as for the Hyde, when Miss Thornhill killed the principal was oh bloody hell, oh my goodness, Miss Weems. The principal was Miss Weems. She killed the principal, and it was a sad, tragic event. And so she set the Hyde on a killing spree. Then Enid was able to release her werewolf powers, and she took on, I guess you could say, the creature by herself. And she actually defeated them. She actually won, and they arrested Tyler. They put him in a restrainer strap, of course. Towards the ending, Wednesday actually was able to kill Joseph Craxton by stabbing him in the heart with a, I wouldn't say a dagger, it was a broken sword when they fought. And so he died, yes. And the rest of the school semester was put on hold, meaning everyone had to go home because of this traumatic event, what happened, including the demise of Principal Weems, which was a good family friend member of the Addams family. Unfortunately, she died. But for Jenna Ortega, she did every single stunt herself, including the dance she created by herself. Yes, it was viral all over TikTok. I think the dance she created by herself was amazing and spectacular. It was actually pretty awesome. And so, Xavier, basically, she became friends with Xavier. She acknowledged Xavier like he's innocent, okay? So I may have misjudged him, she was saying. And Xavier gave her a present. He gave her an iPhone 13. Yeah, an iPhone 13. And he said, I know that you're not big on technology, which she isn't. She does not like technology at all. But now that she has a phone, Xavier put his number inside the phone, and she says that I hope you're not expecting a phone call. He said no, just a little text. While she was driving home, basically inside the car, she was getting some threatening text messages and emoji text messages saying that I'm keeping an eye on you, I'm watching you. And she says, looks like I have a stalker, or it could be my next enemy, but who knows. I know that this expense is killing me right now. There's going to be a season 2 coming out real soon, but I'm excited for that. I would give this an 8 out of 10. This was a banger. I really did love this show. Now, she did mention in the interview on Jimmy Kimmel's show that the next season, she's going to take out the romance because there's a little bit of romance inside season 1. She's going to stop that right there. So she wants to remain it mysterious, dark, and I guess you could say a little bit of horror to it. Yeah. So I thoroughly did enjoy this. Tim Burton, Jenna Ortega, they both did an amazing job at creating this beautiful TV series, this spin-off Addams Family. We got to see Wednesday when she's a little older. It was pretty awesome. And she's a talented musician as well with the cello. And, well, I gotta say that I highly recommend you guys watch it. It's out on Netflix right now. If you have time, get some popcorn, get some soda, kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new, subscribe to the channel as always. And yes, of course, I'll see you all in the next one.